cherish all the time you spend, you tuned in to. It's time again to cherish all the time you spend, you tuned in to. It's the number one podcast. The topics of discussion when we broadcast. So all them artificial man jokes, we do it natural from the concrete to a public standpoint. Real, wherever you're from, life is coexistence, but to know the real, you just gotta listen. Wherever you're from, life is coexistence, but to know the real, you just gotta listen.
What up, everybody? Welcome to the 52 Scott Podcast. This is For Women Wednesday. I'm your host, Freddie G, joined by my co-host, K Money, Slash, and Comedian 96. Collectively, we are the Mind of Men. Don't forget to follow us on X, formerly known as Twitter, at 52 Scott Podcast. On Instagram and Facebook, the 52 Scott Podcast. And for all my YouTubers, don't forget to like and subscribe. And welcome to another Women Wednesday. Okay, in the dating world, a player is someone who is not emotionally invested in the relationship. They are more interested in the thrill of the chase. A player often have multiple partners and not interested in commitment. Okay, fellas, with that being said, overall, who's the better player, men or women?
Women.
Women.
They have better chances at, anything.
Yeah, I'm going to say women.
Okay, so we're all in agreement
Yes.
that women are the better players.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so with that being said, what does it take for a man to be a good player?
Well, he better have his tools.
Okay, talk to me. What does it take? If you was a let me
The tools I'm gonna have.
check it out. I know you're not a player.
Yeah, I'm not a player.
You just crush a lot. But anyway,
Fat Joe.
Big Pun.
Big Pun.
Yeah. So to be a good player, what should he have?
You gotta have your tools, man. And when I say your tools, I mean your financial standpoint need to be on point. You know what I mean? That way you ain't got the point. They point. If your standpoint is on point, they pointing at you.
I like Pow Wow say, running game like a cheetah. You guys gotta have game.
Okay.
Gift of gab. You got to be able to talk.
Okay, so it sounds like game and gift to gab is the same thing. So
Well, no.
It pretty much is.
yeah. So let me give y'all what I think you need to have to be a good player.
Okay.
So number one, what I think you need to have lines up with what y'all kind of said. I think you need to have a good conversation.
Oh yeah.
Well-rounded though. Here's the thing. A well-rounded conversation. Mm-hmm. Now, another thing you need to have to be a good player is you need to be a good liar. You need to be able to lie real good.
And see, that's where I fall short because I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
In order to be a
Same
player,
here.
I think you need to be a good liar. And when you're lying, you need to be able to deceive without having a conscience.
That's tough, man.
Yeah, I agree, man. That's
That's a tough one.
Yeah, that's
Now,
hard.
what I will say, I agree with what you're saying, and the reason why I agree with what you're saying, because now in my younger days, I might have been considered a player. I had some game. I knew what to spit with the ladies. The ladies was loving what I was saying, but the lying part only leaves you lonely.
True.
As you get older, you start to recognize, okay, you know what? I can't lie because I'm not going to be able to remember that lie to tell another lie to hold that one up. Mm-hmm. So you lose those player cards somewhere down the line. And I think we all may have had some player cards, but getting to a certain age, you got to drop that player part out. But I agree with you. You got to be able to know what to say. You got to be able to lie, and you can't care about what you lying about. You got to.
Freddie,
Go ahead, Kim.
did you actually define player in the beginning
at
of
the
okay?
beginning, yep.
So if there are no honest players out there, basically.
Well, it's possible, but let me define it again.
Okay, appreciate it.
So, in the dating world, a player is someone who is not emotionally invested in a relationship. They are more interested in the thrill of the chase. A player often have multiple partners and not interested in commitment.
Now I think you can exclude lying and still be a successful player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's, I was just trying to.
That's why I say game and gift together.
So okay.
So just to piggyback, K Money, when you say you can drop the lying,
Yeah.
well, see, that's where your financial situation gonna have
Can
to
back
come
it
in
up.
at. Yeah, if your financial situation is straight, you ain't gotta
You
say
gotta
nothing.
lie.
You could pull up, show her the house and all of this, and she on you without a word being said.
So check it out. I understand where you're going with it, K Money, but I think that lying, being a good liar, is a part of being a player. Here's why. If you have multiple women and you're not lying to them, and they all know that you have others,
You're not
and
a
they're
player.
okay with it, you're not a player.
You're a pimp.
They just now pimping is they giving you getting money from them and all
facts.
that stuff. But you're not a player. They just chose to be with you in your lifestyle.
Yeah,
in that lifestyle.
you're not the player. You're the coach now.
Yeah. You're not a player. I think that players, in order to be a good player, you have to be a good liar. Now, Comedian 96, you want to say something?
Yeah, that's why I say game and gift the gab are different. If you're running game, you're lying. If you got the gift the gab, you can tell the truth. You could tell a girl the truth.
Yeah.
Yes, I want to be married. I want kids, but it might not be pertaining to
No.
or for her.
If you listen to the definition I said,
Uh-huh.
and you say yes, I want to get married, that's a lie because players don't want to commit.
No. I'm just saying you can tell her that. Oh, you did.
That's
say
a
that.
lie.
Okay, you could say yes, I want to be with you.
That's a lie. Exclusive.
Well,
let me exclusive.
Only
yeah,
you.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And it's not I want to be with you. It's the lie that's told. It's the
Yeah.
baby, I love you.
He didn't say
That's the lie.
because he didn't. What he did do is just tell part of the truth. Yeah, I want to be with you, but he
Not
didn't.
only
He
you.
didn't say
He didn't say who,
I
who
want
else
to be
he
with
wanted to
others
be with.
as well. So
Right.
he didn't lie.
Well,
He just omitted the truth, the other parts
even
of it.
in some, even if you do that, even if you're omitting the truth,
Uh-huh.
at some point you're going to end up having to lie. Let me give you an example.
Yeah.
Where were you? I was over here. When really, truthfully, you was over there.
You're right.
You understand what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
You're right.
So again, I believe in order to be a good player,
Yeah, you're gonna have
you
to-
have to have a good conversation.
And be able to lie good.
Gotcha.
You got to have a good conversation because a good conversation could be about politics. And she just enjoys your brain.
Right.
Yeah,
A good
intellect.
conversation
Yeah.
could be about sports because she just like your knowledge of you
What
you
you
love
saying
sport because
and
she
how you
likes
sound.
sports.
You
Yeah.
got a point. Okay.
So
All
you
right.
got to have a good conversation,
Right.
But you also got to be a good liar. Here's another element that I think you need to be a player. Slash, you alluded to this earlier. You said have the paper.
Yeah, you got to
Well, check it out though. I agree with that, but let me put a twist in it with it. So, I believe to be a good player, you don't necessarily have to have the paper. Because if you have the paper, there's a fine line. You might end up becoming a trick if you're spending. So can you really say you're a player just because you got the paper? Nah, nigga, you might be a trick.
Yeah, that's
So
yeah.
with that being said, let me put a little twist into it. So I believe that in order to be a player, you have to have a good conversation. You have to be a good liar, but I also believe that you have to have things that may indicate that you're financially stable, like having a nice apartment or a nice home, having a decent vehicle, having nice clothes and accessories.
Yeah.
You could be living from paycheck to paycheck
That's
to
your
have
tools.
all of that.
You got to have your tools.
See, you can be living from paycheck to paycheck
Yep.
to have all of that.
You got to have your tools.
So you have to have things that may indicate that you're financially stable. Keyword stable.
Stable.
Yes.
You may just be living from paycheck to paycheck. You one paycheck away from being evicted.
Right.
But she can't see that.
Right.
Yeah, I agree.
K Money, I see your car wheels turning.
Man, I'm still stuck on you don't really necessarily have to lie to be a good player.
Okay, talk to me. Talk
You
to
know,
me why you
well,
feel like you don't have to
just
lie.
like Slash mentioned in regards to, if you got finances, then you don't necessarily have to lie. And I also feel if you lay in that pipe successfully, that'll make a motherfucker, stigmatized to where they gonna believe any and everything you say.
Okay, you
That's
said
true.
keyword. They're gonna believe any and everything you say.
So you can tell them the truth and they still go believe it, even if the truth is something that you feel is crazy.
Well, okay, so
Like being with a lot of women at one time. They don't have a problem with that.
So you think that if you telling the truth, to say that okay, I'm with a bunch of women at one time,
I'm finna, when you get through with one, hey, I'm finna go over here and see Susie.
and she say what?
Okay, baby, just come back. I'm gonna have breakfast ready.
All right, now check this out. Are you really a player, or is she just down with your program? Are you lying to the next one over there?
Well,
Are you
according to
telling
your
the next-
definition, you fit in that definition.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm saying you are a
Okay,
player.
so are you telling the one that you're going to be with?
Same thing.
The same
Hey, I just
thing.
came from Alice.
Okay, what about the third one?
Old school names.
Okay,
third-
yeah. What about the
Gertrude
third? So
was
in
the
other
next
words,
one.
so in other
Margaret.
words, you think that if you believe that if your penis is good, you can tell all of the women that you're with. Let's say you have 5, and all 5 of them would be okay with that. They will believe it and be okay with it.
I think, yeah, at some point in time they would be and could be, but the longevity in those relationships just may not last long.
So
Because they would eventually get tired.
okay. Now let me ask you this: what commitment do you bring to those relationships?
Good dick.
That's it.
That's it.
Okay. Well, players often are not committed to anything. You're just committed to sex, and that's it.
I mean, they in and out, moving around to the next, on to the next.
And so that makes you a player.
No, I'm just saying
A
that's
good
a characteristic.
A characteristic of a good
I'm just
player.
saying, yeah, you don't have to
buy
lie.
that. I can buy that. I still think you got to be a good liar because I believe at some point out of those 5, you're going to end up lying.
Mm-hmm.
I just believe that. I believe that if they're all cool with it now,
Yeah.
at some point, you're going to end up having to lie.
Yeah.
And if you end up having to lie, that'll support what I'm saying.
Let me say this here. Let me revise my statement. You could be a good player without lying. However, you may be a stressful player because they all may not. You know, they may know you full of shit and may still talk their shit.
What
What they
would make
dealing with.
what would make you stressed?
Because you got 5 women that, you know, if you dicking them down, like I was just saying how it's important, or the sexes play a key role, they not gonna want this other person to be feeling the same thing they just felt, knowing that you leaving them to go hit another one.
Okay, but what I'm saying is, I get that part that they're not going to be feeling. What's stressing the player out? What's making the player?
The women.
So yeah, and let me add.
Go ahead.
So you can, be had the best sex with 5, 6 different women for them. The
Right.
best sex for them. And I see where you're going, K Money. But what you're gonna end up getting, because there's no commitment been made and there's no decision on a commitment, what you're gonna start getting is that woman gonna start being like da 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 da. Now here comes the nagging.
Yeah.
What's the da da da? The da 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 is the nagging.
The nagging.
Okay.
This, that, this, that, this, that, this, that, this, that. So now it's causing the male a slight bit of stress because that's not what we was in here. We wasn't commit. I mean, there was no commitment.
Right.
Number one. So now what you saying to me is what I should do is because now you're trying to, I guess, have some sort of control over the
They
relationship.
got that emotional connection.
But there is no relationship.
Right.
So it can stress the man because now I got to figure out how to get away from this, but at the same time still smash and still go and smash the other girl. So yeah, it can be stressful. And again, I'm not a player. I don't know if this is just a thought that I'm having. But you're going to have to, you can smash really good. She's going to love it. But eventually the emotional connection that she's going to have due to you giving her good sex is going to stress you out if you don't want that commitment with that woman. And because you're going to keep trying to smash. Now, the stressful part is you damn near got to deal with some of this stress she's giving you because you really just trying to smash again.
Okay.
You committed to the smash.
Now, when she starts to stress you out, K Money,
Yes, sir.
do you think you'll start lying?
No, I just think my time spent over there may just decrease.
Yeah.
What does she call you? Where you at?
I'm with Sally still. Breaking her back.
Okay. So
Being honest.
Yeah.
okay. So bottom line is the elements. Let's before I move on, let me just wrap up. I gave y'all what I thought my elements you would need, or what Slash would call your tools.
Yeah.
I thought that you need to have a good conversation to be a good player.
You do.
I think that you got to be a good liar to be a good player. K Money disagrees with
Makes
that.
a difference.
I agree. I disagree with it as well.
And
Wait, hold on.
I neither
So
agree.
you and K Money disagree with being well.
Yeah, and I'll tell you why. But go ahead.
Okay, that's fine. So I'm just going over what I think you need, and I just want to make sure, I capture everything. So I think in order to be a good player, you got to have a good conversation. I think in order to be a good player, you have to be a good liar. Comedian 96 and K Money disagree. They don't feel like you have to be a good liar to be a player.
Not at all.
Slash.
So on that one, the liar part, I don't agree or disagree because I believe that you're gonna have to lie at some point.
Okay.
But I also believe that you really don't have to if
Okay.
you got your game right.
Okay. So you're kind of like, okay,
Yeah.
you may have to lie sometimes. You may
you may
not.
not,
You
you
just
know.
don't know.
Yeah,
I don't agree or
you know.
disagree. Okay. And I also believe that the other element I believe is that you have to have things that may indicate
Right.
that you're financially stable, meaning that you need to have a nice home or an apartment, your
No
own
bicycles,
place,
nigga,
your
no
own place.
bicycles, nigga.
You have to have a decent vehicle. Not saying you got to have the top of the line vehicle.
No scooters,
but
nigga.
But it need to be a decent vehicle, and you have to have some decent clothes and possibly some accessories.
Nikes, Jordans, nigga, no papers.
And,
nigga.
and in order to be a good player, do y'all agree or disagree?
I
I
agree with
I
that.
agree with that. I
Okay.
agree with that.
Because number one, if most women are attracted to visual, so if they see a guy dressed nice, they like head over heels. The man ain't said nothing to him yet, and they all giggly and shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's easy to be a player. It's just, do you want to be one and deal with the stress of, because it is stress in being a player, man. Once you get in so deep, then they come back, so
So I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So back to you don't have to lie, and I'm gonna tell you my reason. Be real quick.
Okay, go ahead.
I knew someone personally. They're married now, but when they were playing the field and they were a player, they would have a circle of women, maybe 5 to 6. Once that one female asks too many questions or questioning them, he just drops them from the circle and add a different one. Because he don't want to lie to them, and when he tell them the truth, they don't like to hear it. He don't want all the stress, so he just drops them. If they get on his page, he good. So he didn't lie at all to none of them, and they all, I ain't gonna say they all knew about each other, but if he had 5, at least 3 of the 5 knew about each other, and they stayed. So he didn't lie to them.
I think you have a better chance when you don't lie to them.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I know for a fact he did not lie. He would tell us truth. I am on my way to such and such house. Don't call me until I call you.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm like,
Yeah,
God.
I think if you tell the truth, you have a better chance with whatever your intentions is with her.
Okay, so here's another question. So, do you have to be handsome?
No,
Nah.
I
don't
think you
think-
got, look, my personal opinion, because this guy I'm talking about was over 6 feet. I think you got to be over 6 feet. I have a rule in my head.
Stop,
Disagree.
Bro.
I-
Stop, bro. Stop.
I disagree
it.
with
you.
you.
Do not
Disagree?
have to be.
I don't know
6
no players that were under 6 feet like that could do it like what I just explained to you. I don't know nobody unless they had a buku amount of money.
You know people, you just don't know.
Yeah.
When you don't know, you don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving along. That was what it takes for a man to be a good player. And for the most part, with the exception of the lying, we kind of all agree.
Right.
Right? So, next question is, what does it take for a woman to be a good player?
Oh, this gonna be good.
Shit, TNA.
Oh, just some good stuff. That's it.
Well, I take that back. That she doesn't necessarily have to have good TNA or a body. She has to have a body.
She has to be available. If she's available for action, she can play all day long, how she want. Because what
Actually,
I do know,
I agree.
You know what, guys are gonna smash. You ain't gotta ask twice.
Right.
A dude, you send him a shout out one time, and you live, he going for it. As opposed to us, we might have to shoot at the same chick 6-7 times before we can get her. But if she game, then the dude is in.
If she got some good, bedtime stuff, and you see that she don't answer her phone always going to voicemail, and normally guys form an opinion, she ain't nothing but so I'm just gonna hit anyway. You'll keep going back, even though she a player. But you just won't take her serious. A guy is not stupid enough to take her serious.
Right. So she don't have to lie.
She ain't got to lie.
She ain't got to lie at all.
Definitely don't.
Because here's the thing.
She can tell you, after I get through with you, I'm finna go over such and such house and give him some.
I don't give a damn. Because I'm not taking you serious.
Because if you don't take her serious, it doesn't matter what she's about to do.
Correct.
Hopefully. But if it matters to you, then you're not a player. She's the player, and you getting caught up. So I mean, it's just now it's just really different. You know what I'm saying? In because what women have to offer, every man want it.
Okay.
Now, what I do wonder and think is, females having that emotional connection, because I do feel all females have that emotional connection. So if she's a player, she's able to exclude that emotional connection that you normally would have. Do you agree?
Who you asking me?
I'm just asking the panel.
So repeat it for me.
Say that again.
You know how females are basically emotional creatures,
right?
So we talking about how females can be players now, and I feel if she's, I think somebody just said, I think Comedian 96 mentioned how dude was straight up saying how he was going over to the next chick to do whatever. A female can do the same thing, saying she going to smash this next dude. Well, she doesn't have that emotional connection if she's fucking like that. Exactly. I get what you're saying. She cannot
be emotionally attached to a guy if she's a player.
So
there's just no way.
Bottom line, we're talking about hookers.
Well,
that's what it sounds like.
No, because here's the thing.
She's not selling it.
She can just say, this guy has some great sex. This guy has some great sex. This guy don't have his own place. I like him. I'm going to keep him. This guy don't have a job. I like his sex, but I'll keep him. She'll never connect emotionally because they're not where they are financially, because in her future, she know there's no future with them other than sex.
Do you think at some point, she's going to have her hand out to any one of those guys?
Yeah.
Well, if just probably if she know the dude ain't got no job,
she not gonna ask him for nothing.
She ain't gonna ask him nothing, and she do would be something like $20.
The one that ain't got no job is the one that's bringing
he's smashing.
Yeah.
That's the only reason he around.
Yeah, exactly.
That's his role on the team.
Just for her dignity, she is gonna ask for $20, and she gonna make him go get it, even though she know he can't find it.
You got some chicks, man, who will, don't mind doing for the guy. You know what I'm saying? I've seen it happen to where, it could be a woman that's got a little something, and she like a guy who don't have much, and she'll take care of that dude. You know what I'm saying? It's not always about getting him financially,
right?
But it's about if whatever her idea of him is, it satisfying to her in order for her to even be around the dude so long or keep him around.
Makes sense.
With other people, but she not gonna tell him that there's another man. That's the problem.
So check this out. According to Psychology Today, research indicate that men are generally more deceitful than women. Studies show that men tend to engage in more self-serving deception and tell more lies, while women are often perceived as more honest. However, both genders exhibit different strategies and motivations to deceive. Now, I want to focus on that latter part. Both genders exhibit different strategies and motivations to deceive. So fellas, whether you're going on the first date with a woman or you've been dating this woman for a couple of months, what are some of the strategies a man would use to deceive a woman? It could be verbal, it could be material, or it could be a physical action. What are some of the strategies a man would do to deceive a woman, even if you're going on the first date or if you've been knowing her for a minute. And keep in mind, this is all a part of being a player.
That one's hard for me.
It's not hard. It
it's
just
not hard.
requires thought.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nah, well, the first thing he'll deceive her with is he'll take care of her financially and how much money he may lie about what
Well,
he have, and he don't even have it.
here-
Like he could work as a janitor at NASA, just as a janitor.
So here's one thing I would say he would do to deceive her. He's gonna compliment some stuff. Compliment
Right.
what she got on, what her hair is, what she smell like. So that's definitely and the problem. The reason why that's so easy.
Fill her head up.
Well, women love compliments,
Yeah, you want to fill her head.
and
You want
once
to make
you
her head
learn
big.
that
Yeah, it's
women
like-
love compliments, once you learn women love compliments, you in there if you compliment the right thing. And you ain't got to worry about nothing. You just got to come stronger the next time. And you got to keep complimenting if you're going to be emotionally involved with her. If you're not, then, do what you're going to do and get on. Because if you don't, she going to get on. So,
I think they could be deceitful in the amount of time that they say they're going to spend with you or with
yeah.
them.
Or planning.
Yeah.
Deceitful with plans. Oh, well, next year, this time, we should do this.
We should go to Disney World, stuff like that.
Yeah, that's deceiving type
Okay.
stuff,
What about saying I love you?
Oh, that's the biggest killer.
No, a smart player would not use that,
that
word
one's
at
going
all.
to get you hurt.
Yeah, you wouldn't use that at all.
Okay. What about if you're going on the first date and you started pushing alcohol on her? Yeah, she drinks, but they ain't gonna drink this, and you started pushing
Yeah,
alcohol.
that's deceiving. That's deceiving.
I wouldn't do it.
How is it deceiving?
Because what you doing, she
If
drink,
she already drank, yeah.
but you constantly buying, give her another drink, because in your mind you're not getting that drunk, because you may plan to do what you want to do with her because she tipsy.
She tipsy.
But if you know she's known for getting fucked up,
I ain't say she was known for getting fucked up. I said she drinks.
I know. Okay, so if you feeding her the drinks, you basically on a mission trying to
now
get her
you
fucked
know
up.
that if by feeding her drinks, you know that sometimes people make decisions that are normally decisions that they wouldn't make
right.
if they were sober.
On alcohol, blame it on the
Okay,
alcohol.
yeah.
Yeah, that's deceiving.
Yeah.
Okay, what about playing the friend card? Let's say you're at work and it's somebody you
Yeah.
like.
Yeah, that
And you really slide them close, but you trying to play like you playing your friend card. You don't really want to be in the friend zone, but you kind of put yourself in the friend zone a little
get
bit,
a little closer.
just to keep getting closer.
Yeah,
I can see that.
Yes.
that's deceiving. Yeah,
Okay.
I wouldn't do it. I don't have
I
time.
wouldn't do it personally, but yeah.
Okay, now on the flip side, we're not women, right? So the only way we'll know their strategies is if a woman revealed them to us.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, what do y'all think some of their strategies are to deceive a man?
Bringing them food to eat.
Yeah, telling you I'll cook for you and I'll do this, and
Bringing them plates home.
yeah,
From home. To work.
and they may send you a couple of little X-rated photos and stuff like that to deceive you. It's a lot that they
It won't
do.
be. What they'll do is it'll be partially X-rated to kind of leave something to the imagination, to whereas because they're at work, so she don't want to get busted. Well, I wore that to Miami Beach, but it could be a thong.
Well, it could actually be something that they send to your cell phone.
Yeah.
They could take a quick little something at home that night and send it to you the next
right,
day.
yeah. Uh-huh.
So they'll be deceiving in all kinds of ways. You know what I'm saying?
It's a lot. I mean, they could just look at you a certain type of way and
Man.
go take it as something totally different than what
and-
they actually intended it.
And because I have daughters, now that you mention that, because I have daughters, I always say you can't smile at every man, because some of them gonna start thinking that
You're
it's a
interested.
chance for
Yeah.
them, and don't give them that chance, because it can end up being hurt. When you hear women talk about stalkers and stuff like that, there's people out there that do that. So I try to teach them, don't smile at every dude. You know what I'm saying? That ain't what's up. Don't flirt with every dude, because it's foolishness out here too.
Exactly. I tell my daughter the same. I say, look, I don't care how hungry you are. If you don't plan on talking to that man, being with that man in any kind of way, Don't take no lunch, no food, no
From
money from them at all.
Okay. So far we've discussed who's the better player, men or women. We've discussed what it takes for a man or a woman to be a good player. We've discussed the different strategies players use. Now I want to discuss how to recognize a possible player. How can you recognize, as a man, how can you recognize a woman who could possibly be a player, and how can women recognize a man who could possibly be a player?
So for a man to recognize from a woman, I think you watch her, and if she's constantly texting or phone ringing, every 5-10 minutes and stuff like that, you might need to watch out. Or if she gives you her phone number and every time you call that she's not answering, you might need to watch out for her.
Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah,
So
those are some good ones.
yes, some good ones. But I'm gonna go with the phones again. But I'm gonna go even further into the phones. This is for both man and woman. Well, the second one won't be with the man, but this first one will. If they phone always on silent, always, doesn't matter on or off work, on silent, and for the woman, and I just found this out probably a couple of years ago. A lady told me this. She says, what I do when I go into a relationship, my phone is always on 5%. I have a car charger, I have a home charger, but my phone stays on 5%. So when I start dating another guy, he sees that I'm always on 5%. So when I need to go cheat, he'll think, oh, she just lost power. Right? She just lost power. So when she called, baby, I'm sorry, I lost power. I'm charging it up right now. But she's done cheating. That was her period to go cheat because
I ain't buying that shit.
Yeah,
That wouldn't work
so
with me.
that's a slick move that women use. So whenever I see a girl, I look at her phone. If it's on 5-7%, I don't go no further.
Let me tell you something. If you have a phone and it's always on 5%, that means you ain't charging your phone up. I gotta charge my phone.
She
up.
say that's the setup. She
fuck
wants
that.
you to see
I ain't got
that
time
you
for
are
that.
always on fire. She
I ain't
wants
got
you to
time.
see
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
That's
I
gonna
ain't
be
got
a
time.
problem that I'm gonna address.
Yeah, I ain't got time.
Yeah.
'Cause
Why
guess-
your shit always on 5%?
Exactly.
and that's if
and
I'm
it
trying to
stays
be emotionally connected.
Right,
though.
right. I'm gonna be concerned.
Right. So when you see that, you be like, you got kids and you on 5%, you still playing them games.
So Slash, you said something. You said emotionally connected. Say that part again.
Yeah, that's if I'm trying to be emotionally connected. I'm
Okay.
gonna ask questions like that. But if I see her phone is on 5% and it's like that all the time, then I know to only fuck with you 5% of the time.
Okay, so check this out. So, Slash, you said something really good. You said that one of the ways to spot a possible player is that their phone. They're always on the
texting.
phone. Always texting
texting.
on the phone, right?
Texting.
And you also mentioned something. You said you'll ask her about it if you're trying to be emotionally
Right.
connected. Now, I got one of the things listed here that you could spot a possible player is if they're actually avoiding emotional connection.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
is there anything else y'all want to add to being able to possibly spot a player?
that phone tells everything.
The phone.
What about having too many friends of the opposite sex?
Oh yeah, too many
that's
men
big.
friends. Too
That's-
many men friends. That's a
big.
good one.
That's really big.
I don't. And when girls have too many men friends, I don't date them.
So that's a sign to y'all that,
So-
that
so-
they player?
Oh, yeah.
So
definitely.
what if
One of 'em tap.
So what if you got a bunch of female friends?
I don't. I don't have
Yeah, he
none.
said, what
I
if,
don't.
though?
I have one. I take that back.
So-
But she's only a friend because her husband's my friend.
But what
that
if?
is the only
The
reason.
question was, what if?
what if I had?
Yeah, would that
she
make you a
should,
player?
She should be suspicious if I got a bunch of female friends.
But that's
But I
almost
don't.
like being insecure. I mean, because depending on your age level,
I'm a man.
we adults.
If they're attractive, these girls are attractive, and they my friends. She should be suspicious.
Okay.
Well,
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Cameron.
you said
Yeah.
if you was attractive, so you not attractive. So how should she feel?
I said if kiss. I ain't answering nothing.
Okay, so check this out.
Damn.
Check this out. A possible player. What if they're still active on dating sites?
Yeah, that's a possible.
Oh,
player.
that's you
That's
shouldn't even have to
possible player.
ask that.
Now, but sometimes now you got to realize that they may have a dating site profile, but not actually active on there.
Yeah.
And you don't know they active unless you dealing with them on there.
Yeah. If you see last used yesterday, then it's a problem.
Yeah.
But if it's a last used in 2024, yeah, you can't.
Yeah, and I don't think it's to the point to now where they show last login.
It is.
Okay.
It is.
Yeah,
Yes.
they do.
That shit's
So
crazy.
what about a person that is mysterious about their personal life? Meaning that you're dating them, you're trying to get to know them,
But
it
they have
seems
this
like they
mystery about
They
that.
got this
Yeah.
mystery about
Damn
A
it.
lot of secret stuff.
You
yeah.
have to.
That's a sign, man.
That's a sign. And see where I come from, signs mean something, and you have to pay attention to the signs, because if they have something going on all the time to where, and you could think about the times that you talk to her and the times that you don't talk to her. If she can call you at 10 o'clock in the morning, but you can't call her at 10 o'clock at night, something's wrong. Start thinking about what the hell going on. She not sleep at 10 every night. I don't believe that, even on Fridays and Saturdays. No, if she can call you at 10 in the morning, I should be able to call you at 10 at night.
That's a good one too, by the way. If they're not available on Fridays and Saturdays
Hey,
all the time,
I ain't got time for you.
yeah, it's a wrap.
They in them streets.
Yeah, in them
they
streets.
In them streets.
Okay, well, that's going to bring it to a close. So, if you are a person that have been played, there's an old saying, don't hate the player, hate the game. This concludes another dope episode. Tune in tomorrow for Think Thursday. Don't forget to follow us on X, formerly known as Twitter, at 52 Scott Podcast, on Instagram and Facebook, the 52 Scott Podcast. And for all my YouTubers, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Remember, the only way we grow is if you let them know.